Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a pressing issue that affects millions of Americans: poverty. Recent statistics show that poverty is on the rise in the USA, and it's more important than ever to understand the causes and explore potential solutions. Please subscribe to my channel for more financial information. It's the belief that anyone, regardless of their background, can achieve success through hard work and determination. But for a growing number of Americans, this dream is slipping further out of reach. Recent statistics paint a stark picture. Poverty rates are on the rise across the USA. More families are struggling to put food on the table, keep a roof over their heads, and afford basic necessities. The gap between the rich and poor continues to widen, leaving many feeling left behind in a land of supposed opportunity. This isn't just a matter of numbers. It's about real people, families, and communities grappling with the harsh realities of poverty. We need to ask ourselves, how did we get here? And more importantly, what can we do to turn the tide? The reasons behind the rise in poverty in the USA are complex and multifaceted. One major factor is the stagnation of wages. While the cost of living continues to climb, wages for many Americans have remained stagnant for years. The federal poverty line for a family of four is $26,500. This means that families earning less than this amount struggle to afford essential goods and services. This means that even those who work full-time jobs are struggling to keep up with the rising costs of housing, healthcare, education, and other essential needs. Another significant contributor is the decline of well-paying manufacturing jobs. The U.S. economy has shifted towards a service-based model, often characterized by lower wages and fewer benefits. Furthermore, systemic issues such as racial inequality, inadequate access to education and healthcare, and a lack of affordable housing all play a role in perpetuating poverty. One of the most significant drivers of poverty in the USA is the issue of low wages. Many Americans are caught in a vicious cycle where they work full-time, sometimes even multiple jobs, but still struggle to make ends meet. The federal minimum wage, while intended to provide a safety net, has not kept pace with the rising cost of living, leaving many workers earning poverty-level incomes. This problem is further exacerbated by the rise of the gig economy. The gap between the rich and the poor continues to widen, with the top 1% holding a significant portion of the nation's wealth. While gig work can offer flexibility, it often comes with low pay, unpredictable hours, and a lack of benefits such as health insurance or paid sick leave. Families struggling to make ends meet often have to make difficult choices between paying rent, putting food on the table, or accessing healthcare. This can lead to housing instability, food insecurity, and a range of health problems, all of which contribute to a lower quality of life and perpetuate the cycle of poverty. The cost of housing, particularly in urban areas, has skyrocketed in recent years, putting immense pressure on low and middle-income families. Finding safe, affordable housing has become increasingly challenging, forcing many to choose between paying rent and other essential needs. The lack of affordable housing options has led to a rise in homelessness and housing instability. Families are forced to move frequently, disrupting children's education and making it difficult to establish roots in a community. Addressing this crisis requires a multifaceted approach that includes increasing the supply of affordable housing, providing rental assistance to low-income families, and implementing policies that promote equitable access to housing opportunities. The United States has the most expensive healthcare system in the world, and for many Americans, affording quality healthcare is a constant struggle. High premiums, deductibles, and out-of-pocket costs can quickly drain a family's finances, pushing them into debt or even bankruptcy. For those living in poverty, accessing healthcare can be even more challenging. Lack of insurance, transportation barriers, and difficulty finding providers who accept Medicaid can all prevent individuals from receiving timely and necessary medical care. The financial burden of medical debt can also trap families in a cycle of poverty, making it difficult to escape. While poverty affects all segments of society, it does not do so equally. Certain communities, particularly communities of color, face disproportionately higher rates of poverty. This is a direct result of systemic racism and discrimination that have created barriers to opportunity for generations. For example, Black and Hispanic Americans are more likely to live in poverty than white Americans. They face higher rates of unemployment, earn lower wages, and have less wealth accumulation. Addressing the racial wealth gap and dismantling systemic racism are essential steps towards creating a more equitable society where everyone has an equal opportunity to succeed. This requires a commitment to investing in communities of color, promoting economic empowerment, and dismantling discriminatory policies and practices. Behind the statistics and data are real people with real stories of struggle and resilience. Take, for example, Sarah, a single mother of two working as a cashier at a local grocery store. Despite working full-time, Sarah struggles to afford basic necessities for her family. She often has to choose between paying rent and putting food on the table. Her children, ages 8 and 10, have had to go without new clothes and school supplies. Sarah dreams of a better life for her children, but feels trapped in a cycle of poverty that seems impossible to escape. Then there's John, a veteran who has struggled to find stable housing and employment since returning from his deployment. John suffers from PTSD and chronic pain, making it difficult to hold down a job. He relies on food banks and shelters to survive. These are just two examples of the millions of Americans who are struggling to make ends meet. While the challenges of poverty may seem daunting, there are solutions that can help break the cycle and create a more just and equitable society. One crucial step is to raise the minimum wage to a living wage. This would provide millions of workers with a much-needed raise and boost the economy from the bottom up. Additionally, expanding access to affordable healthcare is essential for ensuring that everyone has access to quality medical care without facing financial ruin. Investing in education and job training programs can equip individuals with the skills and knowledge they need to compete in today's job market. Providing affordable housing options, such as expanding Section 8 vouchers and investing in public housing, can help families find stable and secure housing. Addressing systemic racism and discrimination is crucial for creating a level playing field for all Americans. The rising rate of poverty in the USA is a complex and pressing issue, but it is not insurmountable. By understanding the root causes, listening to the stories of those affected, and implementing effective solutions, we can create a brighter future for all Americans. This is not just a matter of policy, it's a matter of our shared humanity. It's about recognizing the dignity and worth of every individual and ensuring that everyone has the opportunity to thrive. We all have a role to play in creating a more just and equitable society. We can support organizations working to combat poverty, advocate for policies that promote economic opportunity, and challenge systems of oppression. Together, we can make a difference.